Now, a kind of wild, crazy idea I have is, the valleys always seem like 10 years behind the rest of the country. Why don't we try going 10 years ahead? Um, and crazy, wild science fiction idea is why don't we take some money or get some grants even and build a solar power plant to the west of El Centro out in the desert? You know, we're blessed with plenty of sunshine, and that desert's pretty hard. There's like no real ecosystem out there, so why not you know carpet the land with a couple hundred or some couple hundred miles or a couple hundred you know mirrors and reflectors and solar collectors. The technology is kind of starting to get there, and I'm pretty sure that if we like say $1 million facility, $5 million facility, which is when you look at national state budgets, it's actually kind of a small sum. And in some cases, there's actual companies that say, oh hey yeah, you give us the land, we'll build there. And we got we got new technology. We really want to try this out. Like European countries seem to be into that as well. Let's go for that. Let's do that here in the Imperial Valley. Let's try something because you know what. El Centro is a large enough population, and we have enough people around that we can, we can get those people. We can get, we can basically support the infrastructure there to support that, to support such a plant, and and then look where demand comes from. The demand in the Imperial Valley may not be so big, but we could sell electricity to Mexicali. We could sell electricity to San Diego, and since California is kind of suffering or can be facing an energy crunch of various sorts, I think that would be very, show a lot of forethought. And why not? Because what's it gonna hurt? So it may, take up some land. The land, if it fails, it's just metal and concrete. Tear it up. Land goes back to normal. Goes back to what it used to be. But if it succeeds, and that's the other thing, is that it'll grow too. If it actually takes off, there'll be new power plants soaking up more solar energy, and it'll be more efficient. And it's like, guess what? The Imperial Valley could be known for solar energy development. Wouldn't that be something? But really, I think it would just be cool if we were just a community known for taking up solar energy. We said, hey, we got all this bare desert. Let's do that. Let's turn it green. And also we need to get our water back too. Imperial Valley is selling its water to Los Angeles and other communities up north. They're deciding we don't need this much water from the Colorado, and that's why some of the fields to the west are they're turning into sand dunes. And they need water, and I think we need to get back into doing that. We need to put more water back into the land, and really and hopefully be able to sell more produce, because that's the other thing. If we start cutting into our infrastructure, if we start cutting into what makes the Imperial Valley money, then the Imperial Valley starts drying up. And here's an interesting thing for you. When I was driving across Georgia, a couple years back, and I drive, from Columbus up to Atlanta over to Augusta and back, every weekend or so. Miles and miles of trees, just miles, no fields. I think I saw like one or two fields, some cattle, but really it's like there was nothing, really growing there except trees. And I was like, why is Georgia growing so many trees? Are they saving up for something? Because it just seemed very odd to me, or very strange. Maybe the trees were behind, or maybe the fields were behind the little semi-forest, which, banked each side of the freeway or the interstate. But it just really seemed that there's nothing there but trees. Imperial Valley, if we got no water, we got nothing. We got sand. We got desert. So we need to support our fields. We need to support the growth. Because otherwise, guess what? More sand, more dirt, and less people want to live here. So like I said, we have to support the economy. And I think that's one of the ways we can do it. IED, take charge. You guys are supposed to be the people. Have this forward thinking. Put money into the land. Put money into the land. Put money into the people. Let's invest. Let's see what we can advance, how we can improve. So, my opinion.